We're a few days out from the Masters tournament and it's a really exciting time for the Aussies this year with 6 players contending in this year's field. We're super lucky to be joined by Ollie Goss, the 2014 low amateur at the Masters and Australian golf professional, to talk us through the 6 contenders. Ollie, thanks so much for joining us. 6 Aussies at Augusta this year. It's hard to remember Australia having such a strong representation at the tournament. How are you feeling about the 6 Aussies going into this year's Masters?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, 6 is great for Australian golf, and it's good to see so many Aussies playing at Augusta this year. I don't think we've had this many play since I played almost eight years ago now. I think we had 7 or 8, and we gave it a good crack. But yeah, it's good to see the 6 get up there this year, and I think they've all got a really good chance of doing really, really well.
As you yourself would know from being the low amateur in 2014, Aussies are always in the hunt, but there's no player more in the hunt this year than Cam Smith. Tell us about that Players' Championship win last month and how he's looking going into this year's tournament.
The favourite from Australia is definitely Cam. As you mentioned, coming off the back of that $5 million players win and winning the Hawaii tournament at the beginning of the year. I think he's cracked inside the top 10, so he's got all the momentum in the world behind him, and this is going to be his best chance at winning. He's proven that he can do really well in the past. I mean, he's had 2 top 10s and a runner-up finish, so he's shown that he can compete around Augusta despite what people might think about his game. You know, he's an insane putter, and he's always been a really good putter, really accurate driver of the ball, and has the tools to get it done.
Obviously, confidence is such a massive thing when you're standing on that first tee at Augusta, but how do you think Cam will be buoyed by that win at the Players' Championship last month?
I think that Players' win has, in my mind, really set him up into that next level of pros, you know. And I think he's always had that belief in him. He's always been a very, very confident player. Even as a junior, he was really confident in his abilities and believed in himself. So I think that win has kind of put himself up into that next stratosphere of elite pros. And I think he'll have all the confidence in the world standing on that first tee and belief that he's going to go out and win.
Another guy who's proven he knows his way around Augusta is Marc Leishman. He had his 3rd top 10 finish last year with a tied 5th, and this is his 10th Masters. Talk to us about Leish's chances this year.
I think Leish always has a good chance. I mean, his game is very, very consistent. He controls it really, really well. He plays this little fade all the time, and it's not the most technically orthodox swing in the world, but he knows it very, very well, and he's very, very consistent. You'll never see him shoot some really, really high scores, but I think he's got the chance to shoot some really, really low ones, especially around Augusta.
He's proven he's not intimidated by Augusta's tough layout. I think he broke the record last year for playing the par 5s at 15 under. Do you think that's what sets Leish apart, is his ability to sort of shape shots and play the layout?
Yeah, I mean, the par 5s at Augusta are no means scoring opportunities. You know, a lot of courses you go, okay, my scoring opportunities are the par 5s, but mate, you've got to earn every single birdie around that course, even on the par 5s. Some of the scariest shots I've ever played, especially on that 15th hole. But Leish seems to have the confidence to go out and hit driver off the deck into that green, and everyone else is packing it, hitting a sandwich in. So I think that kind of confidence in his own swing and his own abilities is going to carry himself really far, especially on top of the fact that he's very relaxed when he plays, very calm, cool and collected. He's a top bloke, and it carries through on the golf course for sure.
Let's take a look at the veteran, Adam Scott, playing his 21st Masters tournament. He's our only winner from Australia. What do you like about Adam Scott going into this year's tournament?
I mean, apart from the obvious, he's got a great swing. He's obviously a really, really good ball striker. He's proven that he can win before in 2013, winning in that playoff. So we know he's definitely got the tools, definitely got the skills required to do well and win. It's crazy to say that this is his 21st Masters, considering I think he's only in his early 40s. So he must have played every Masters since he was about 20 or 21, which is just an insane stat in itself. So I think Scotty always has a good chance of winning no matter what event he plays in.
3 debutants at this year's tournament. Let's start with Cam Davis. Had a really impressive 12 months picking up his first PGA win. Talk to us about Cam and why his game suits Augusta.
He's a really good ball striker. One thing I think you'll notice about Australians is all the ones that do really, really well have really great swings. Technically, they're miles above the rest, kind of similar to the South African players. I think the South African players all swing it really, really good as well. And a lot of the Aussies are really good ball strikers. So I think Cam's no exception. Great swing, great ball striker. I don't know Cam too well. He moved over to the US as well and made a lot of his progress over there. It'll be interesting to see. He's a very calm, cool and collective guy, but it'll be interesting to see the pressures of the first tee on Thursday and how we can handle it.
Let's take a look at another one of the debutants, Lucas Herbert. He's taken a few years to nudge the PGA Tour, but he picked up his first win at the Bermuda Championships back in October. Another really impressive player who's proven his worth and he's got this invite to the Masters. Talk to us about Lucas Herbert.
It took him a few years to break through. He definitely grinded through those first years as a professional and sacrificed everything for this sport. So it's been great to see him break through. I think he's got a couple of wins on the Euro Tour now, and he's playing on the PGA Tour. So all credit to him. You know, he's got an unorthodox swing, but he knows it works and he knows how to do it. So I think what separates him from some of the other guys, and Cam did this as well, is he invested heavily in himself early on. You know, he put the money in, put the time, put the effort in, brought his swing coach, brought his strength coach, sports psychologist, took them to as many tournaments as he could. And I think it's paid off in dividends. And Cam did the same thing. Whereas a lot of people starting out, you know, you don't have a lot of money and, you know, you put this money away to pay for flights and hotels and caddies and, you know, your expenses at home. Whereas these two did it completely different and they put everything into themselves and into their bodies, which is why I think they're doing so well now. So it'll be interesting to see how Lucas goes on Thursday as well.
Do you think out of the 6 guys, Lucas could be the dark horse of the Australians to give this Masters a nudge? Yeah,
for sure. You know, Lucas, I think, is a very aggressive player. So I think he can go out and shoot some really, really low numbers, but also might unfortunately shoot some high ones. So hopefully gets a bunch of low ones. Yeah, it can definitely, I think could potentially sneak up there and surprise a few people.
Our 6th contestant and the youngest in the field from Australia, Minwoo Lee, fellow Perth boy like yourself. Tell us about Minwoo Lee and what you like about his game.
I know Minwoo very well. We grew up at the same course and we had the same coach, and so I know Minwoo and his sister Minji very, very well. I think Minwoo has one of the most polished games I've ever seen out of a younger pro. You know, he's got the swing. He's an insanely good ball striker. Hits it long, good putter, good chipper, very well rounded, almost like an Adam Scott like kind of game. So Minwoo's another one. He can be absolutely deadly. Shoots some really, really low numbers, and I think he's got all the tools he needs to pull off a really good finish. I know he's been struggling a little bit lately, so his coach Richie Smith flew over to the US a few weeks ago and has been spending all this time with Minwoo in preparation for the Masters. So Richie's coming back after the Masters, so we would have spent a good 6 weeks with Minwoo in preparation for Augusta.
He's had a couple of wins on the DP World Tour, but do you feel like we're sort of on the cusp of seeing Minwoo really take the PGA by storm if he can sort of get going at the Masters this year potentially?
Yeah, for sure. There's absolutely no reason why he can't. Similarly to Cam, I think he believes in himself, and he's got all the skills, all the tools necessary to do really, really well. It's up to him whether he does it or not.
Talking about all 3 of those debutants and what it's like just to play at the Masters for the first time, as you did yourself in 2014, just describe that feeling that you get when you walk up Magnolia Lane or you step on that first tee. Talk to us about the buzz of the Masters.
Yeah, it's a feeling that I'll never forget. You know, you've got thousands and thousands of people, 5, 10, 15 rows deep of people around in that first tee, and in the back of your mind you're thinking, there's hundreds of millions of people watching it on TV. So the best way I can describe it is like the butterfly feeling that you get in your stomach, a bit of adrenaline. I remember having it in my toes, in my fingers, in my eyebrows. It's just my entire body was just flush with all this adrenaline, and I had felt like I had no control over what I was doing, and I kind of just went, well, let's see what happens, and hit it really hard, and I snap hooked it left every single day, but gradually brought it back a little bit closer, which wasn't the worst thing. It wasn't too hard of a shot from the ninth fairway over the trees onto the green, but yeah, absolutely insane feeling. I would advise all of them to take it in and remember all of the experiences they had as the first time playing the event. And one lesson that I learned is that a lot of guys, their first time can go out and overdo it in the practice rounds. They do too much practice. They're out there putting for way too long, hitting too many balls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they're absolutely knackered come Thursday. So I think they need to treat the Masters like every other event, and then when they play other events, they've got to treat that like the Masters, so that they're not overdoing it come Masters week, because it's a very, very exhausting week. It feels like you've played 72 holes in one day. You've expended that much mental energy. It really takes it out of you.